Ready.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Agents Aftershock.
New episode, new times, new
Yep.
stuff.
New stuff. I'm excited about this one.
It's shaping up pretty darn good.
Yeah, well, let's introduce ourselves first. I am Jared from Ninja Mafia Entertainment, and with me, as always, Sean from Buy Rent Borrow. Man, and
Way the we introduce ourselves there, Jared.
what?
Reed, you introduce ourselves.
Sorry.
Do you want to just have my side of the conversation too?
No, I think it'd be very
Piss off. You're
one-sided. All right, well,
What the
let's
hell's
get
the matter with you?
episode 3, man.
Yeah, I really like this one a lot. It focused.
It was a little bit slower than
It was a
usual.
slow burn, but I kind of like those episodes. They give you a little more time to kind of ease into the scenario and get a better handle on what's going on while they tell several different stories at once.
Yeah, and they usually have some sort of decent character development. Like this episode, we finally figured out who the director was.
Yes.
His full name is Jeffrey Mace, and for those who don't know, he is the Patriot.
Yeah, we had to do some digging on this. He was created by Jack Kirby.
Yep.
So,
And
well,
he's-
arted by Jack Kirby, but
He's been
That's-
around since the 40s, and then he was around it. He was introduced in 1941 and then reintroduced in 1979. So
yes.
he's been around for a while. He's just kind of one of those characters that used him to fill in for Captain America.
You might not think
before.
I'm still here, but I am. One of those.
Yeah, he's filled in for Captain America from time to time. So him being the S.H.I.E.L.D. director makes sense.
It does. It really fits a good character that can be reintroduced in a new way.
Yeah,
And it kind of, now that I know who it is, it kind of assuages any fears that this is going to be some kind of really stupid setup for a betrayal at the end.
No, it's definitely also like his origin being modified a little bit. I don't think he was inhuman in the comic.
No, I
think he
don't.
was-
I don't think so either. But again, that's okay so long as you have like the core character the same.
Yeah.
Then you'll be fine. You know, you don't want to take somebody Jack Kirby created and made really cool and crap all over them like some people did in a certain Crisis book. Just saying.
Well, I mean, besides that, we were wrong in the last one. May was not flown to the moon. I guess
You were wrong in May not being flown to the moon.
I was asleep.
I was incorrect on
I was like
them being LMDs. Apparently, they were just in a small plane, I guess.
Yeah, and then they were moving her to New York for some reason, and now they're flying her somewhere else. But I think the biggest character development we got from this episode was Elena. We got more with her and a little bit more with Robbie. We were right about his name.
Yes.
We got a little bit more character development of him and Elena more than anybody else.
Now, refresh my memory. Which one's Elena?
Yo-Yo.
Okay, the one that Mac was seeing on the side and
Yeah.
was giving Daisy the meds.
Because she was in Miami at the time where the first EMP hits, and that we find out now the Watchdogs have elevated their game, and
Well, apparently they're being funded by an outside source.
yeah, and
So-
they're blaming stuff on Inhumans, like they're saying
Right.
they're Inhumans, and they're like, no, and the only Inhuman who could do this was Lincoln, and Lincol's dead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that they knew of. They admit that, and it's like,
Yeah.
this is the only one we knew of.
And they've come to find out it was just constant EMPs and the Watchdogs blaming Inhumans.
Right. I like that idea. I think that's a really smart idea for the bad guys to use. It plays into people's natural fears and distrusts of what they don't know and don't want to know about.
Yeah, and then we have the newswoman who's basically just trying to slander them
Right.
all over the media, but we get her motives at the very end.
Yeah, apparently someone that she was close to,
I think it was her brother.
was it her brother?
That's what she said on the phone. She was at her brother's place, and then
Yes,
there was
yes,
all
you're
the
right.
mail and stuff.
Yeah, apparently he caught some of the
Fish oil.
fish oil that had the tetragon
Terrigen mist.
Terrigen
Yeah.
mist compiled into it, and he wasn't inhuman, so he's one of those who's just petrified.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand that.
That would explain where they're getting the fund. Well, at least some of the funding from.
Yeah, there's got to be more
powerful. Like she seemed like maybe a media.
What do you think of the
person.
Twilight Zone-esque hostage situation? Because there's an old episode of the Twilight Zone that this very closely mirrors. A lot of other shows have done it too, but I think this one did it almost the closest to how it was supposed to feel and move atmosphere-wise.
I did enjoy it. I thought it was really well done. It just goes to show you how dumb people can be, though, because you're going to blame a magician.
Well, that's the problem. Men in Black actually said this perfectly. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky animals.
Yeah.
And that's very much something that's very true even today. Is mob mentality just overwhelms any one person's common sense and can completely blind them to what's supposed to be happening.
Yeah, I guess in some ways, like, sleight of hand could be considered.
Right.
Like, you know, people who are really good at it could make it look like a superpower, but that guy just kind of seemed like a hack magician. Like,
Well, he was just there to try and get laid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wish you could kind of said that. It's like, dude, it's a stupid trick. I can show you how to do it. I was trying to get some tail, all right?
Yeah. I thought the thing that disappointed me the most was this Yo-Yo's friends. They, as soon as they found out she had superpowers, they're like, no, you're not you anymore. Never
there are
talk
some
to
people
me.
who genuinely believe this. I mean, this harkens back to to even just natural human beings, like way back in the days of segregation, you found out somebody was of mixed heritage, you're like, God, no, I'm not associating with this person anymore. They lied to me. They didn't tell me what was going on. And it's like, this is still the exact same person. You've known them all your life. Nothing is different about them except this one tiny thing.
Yeah.
You figure they would be really great at keeping secrets because they kept this a secret from you.
Well,
And plus, how badass is it to know somebody with a superpower?
pretty awesome, especially hers, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're running low on liquor at the party. You listen to hours like, listen, we need some more wine coolers. Could you run down to the store real quick? Here's a 20.
Like,
And then it's like that, and it's like, damn, 30 seconds. That was amazing.
is she a teleporter or does she use super speed?
I think she's a speedster.
Like the breakdown of this, like the breakdown of her powers has never been made super clear because. Like, it looks like she hops back and forth. Like, that's why they call her Yo-Yo, because she goes forward and then goes back. But...
Here we see her go around a room collecting the guns from the bad guys.
So, her powers were never made super clear to me.
Well, that's always been kind of my big problem with Marvel is a lot of their people, whenever they need them to, can just kind of gain whatever superpower they need.
Yeah.
And they can just kind of write it off as it's actually this kind of superpower, and they just discovered they could do it.
Yeah. The biggest person we see the powers taking a toll on is Daisy. So.
Yeah, you really get to see what's under those arm bandages, and I gotta say, the makeup and effects they're doing on that bruising look really good. I was kind of convinced. I was like, I think she's actually kind of injured there, kids.
Yeah, and we found out Ghost Rider doesn't get hurt. And
well, I mean, anybody who actually knows Ghost Rider already knows that the rider is impervious.
Yeah, but you know, some people
except for like
not.
spectral harm.
Yeah, some people may not know that, but you know, because this show in the Marvel universe in general is very much reaching a new audience with. Because I mean, you have a lot of people who don't know who some of these characters are.
Yes. Well, I think that's why they're getting able to get away with so much of these is they're dragging people basically out of 1940s like they did with Jeffrey Mace and reintroducing them in this new way, which I'm totally fine with.
I love how Daisy was the long game. They played the long game with her. Like, we didn't find out who she really was until season 2.
Yeah.
And that was...
Yeah, that one was a bit of a head twister.
Yeah. I do like how they played the long game with her. With her powers, I just, I guess we're kind of like, they touched on it before, but then like all of last season, she didn't seem affected. Maybe it's because she had this drug, or I think maybe the gauntlets were developed to not hurt her.
Well, that's what the gauntlets were initially developed for, was for her to be able to channel her vibrations externally without basically shattering her arms.
I guess it's because she's using her powers
Sans gauntlet.
Yeah.
What I also think, I developed a theory, was that while she was under Hive's hypnosis drug thing, he probably released very specific chemicals inside the brain or whatever to make her push past that.
Okay. Yeah, that
so
could be
that's not unheard of in the Marvel U. So I'll allow that. I still hate that season, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we finally.
Yeah, we're finally moving past it.
Ward was over.
Yeah, Ward. God,
he was
so glad he's done with.
I mean, the guy was a really good actor. I'll give him
he is
that.
Good, but they really needed to get him off there. They needed someone else.
A lot of people.
I'm glad they found somebody.
A lot of people thought he was Taskmaster, or he would end up being Taskmaster, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I could have seen that. If they spun him off for that, I'd be down.
Well, like at the end of season 2, somebody calls him Task. I don't know. It was just like a one-time thing, and it was like, okay, I guess we're ignoring that.
I guess so.
But I mean,
probably somebody had the rights to him somewhere else. So.
Well,
technically he's currently listed as like a Deadpool bad guy, and Deadpool's tied to Fox, so they may not have had the rights to use him. Yeah. It depends on where certain people fall under this stupid contract that everybody refuses to ruin.
The only people that are left out of it are mutants now. I think because Marvel allowed Fox to do an X-Men TV show, they traded the rights to the first family back.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, there's a X-Men TV show coming out called Legion about, I think, X's son.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. The previews for it look really weird. But that's neither here nor there.
That's a story for another day.
Exactly.
You probably shouldn't do that. Shoddy Cast is going to email me a nasty letter. No, I thought this one came across really well. It's a very simple. Well, actually, it's not so simple now that I think about it. There's 3 different stories all at work, but they all play out very well paced. None of them feel rushed. None of them feel over or underdeveloped. I liked how they had to go incredibly low tech to find an EMP generator.
Yeah, they built compasses.
Yeah, and then he used slide rules to triangulate a positioning for the approximation of where something is.
Also, this episode we found out Fitz can fight.
Well, yeah, he's a field agent. Obviously, he can.
Like, this just shows how much character development, because we didn't really see him do much of that.
No, but I think a lot of that comes from outside character development. Like, you've seen Coulson kind of give him a wide berth lately, which means he understands he can take care of himself, he can handle himself in a practical situation. He doesn't need to be there for that. So he knows he can work with that. And to me, that translated, okay, so this means Fitz is now a capable person. Not just a technically capable person, but a very capable field agent.
We saw the development a little bit in 3 because he's definitely was bouncing back from what Ward did to him and all that. So like he's a fully formed agent now. Like he's not just a little lab nerd anymore. But the third part of the story we haven't really talked about is May. They finally
this is part 3, which I don't know if this is going to work for everybody because you can't jumpstart everybody's heart back to life.
They had to kill May to
they had to essentially shut her down and boot her back up, as they say. For whatever reason, whatever it is that the ghosts are doing is triggering a part of your brain that causes extreme fight or flight response to the point where the subject is hallucinating.
You're basically in a living nightmare.
Yeah, and what they essentially had to do was do a complete total shutdown and restart.
Yeah.
I think they really missed an opportunity to pull Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I don't think Simmons Villains would have just been like, oh, you created this thing for absolutely no reason that is completely shielded and self-sustaining energy source? Yeah, in your spare time? Yeah, sure. I'm not going to ask any more questions.
The EMP conveniently hit right when they were about to shock her back.
That was just one of
And
those.
he had to
like,
go
oh, shit.
get Ada's battery and use that.
Yeah. Oh,
He's like, oh, it's just a project I've been working on in my spare time.
yeah, it's like, no.
I think
We need to have words after this.
I think it was just more of they were relieved that May was alive, that they kind of ignored it.
Maybe, but I'm hoping they bring that back because this would really, really look bad as they just say, whatever, it's just some little project he did. It helped out, sure, but it didn't matter that it's the perfect size and shape to imitate a human heart and be probably the perfect placement for a robot to power itself indefinitely. Never mind all the fact that you have mannequin heads and crap sitting around that's just perfectly designed towards a female head shape.
I think this might lead us to something more with her, the Ada, further on, because now we know she's impervious to EMPs.
True.
So, an electromagnetic pulse wouldn't affect something running on a new kind of battery.
Right.
So they're probably setting up the long game for that one. This show does have a tendency to set up the
They
long
do.
game.
They do. Believe you me, I know they do.
And I think the only other thing really was Robbie's brother was like, I know you're quick, leave my brother alone, because his brother has no clue he's Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had to explain this portion to my brother as well, because even I forgot about it for a second, was the fact that she was like robbing banks and crap.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you're not entirely unjustified in telling her to stay the hell away from you.
Yeah, well, especially because he has no clue what his brother's doing.
Right. I mean, it's like, I don't think that even if I knew that my brother was a demon-possessed, avenging spirit, I'd probably say keep away to the person who can sink the entire West Coast into the middle of the ocean with her hands.
I do also how they touched on Robbie. He's like, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to make it go away.
Yeah, which again, I'm really hoping we get some Johnny Blaze action in a later episode or so, or something where we have like two riders and then we get like the world's biggest budget for their special effects.
We can only
hope. But yeah, I'm not really sure what all their plans are right now, but it looks like it might be good.
Yeah, this episode was definitely a slow one, but we got a lot of really good character development.
We're still very early in the season, so I usually let slow burn episodes happen during your beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It'll probably pick up closer to the mid-range and kind of cap off one story arc. And
start a new one. Probably Doctor Strange.
Hopefully they will, because that'll be wrapping up about the time Strange hits theaters.
The only thing I was a little bit disappointed with this episode is last week we took a break, and I was hoping there'd be some Luke Cage interaction, but for some reason the Netflix series are staying, they're in the universe, but no one tends to mention them, and there's just no way S.H.I.E.L.D would not show up yet. You have two guaranteed power people that are making a big deal in New York, and you have a third guy who he's just kind of a vigilante. They don't really know the range that Daredevil has powers, because he just seemed like a vigilante.
Then you have to ask, how deep does the Hand have their pockets into the government who's pulling strings there? So they could very easily keep people off the books if they want kept off the books. Like if they're watching for something, they can use that as a reason or an excuse.
As far as Daredevil, yeah, but Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, they are public. They've made themselves public.
Yes, but they kind of just want to be left the hell alone.
Yeah, I would still expect S.H.I.E.L.D to show up, at least in Luke Cage's jail. Be like, look,
maybe we might get that in season 2. So
I'm just hoping, or I think the Defenders is coming before season 2.
Probably.
Iron Fist is March, and then Defenders.
Okay.
Or maybe another season of Daredevil and Jessica Jones first. I don't,
We don't know. Well, we're almost at time, so do you want to do predictions for what we see in the future? Because I'm still banking kind of with my last bit of predictions that we're probably going to get something mystical because we're so close to Doctor Strange, maybe some otherworldly Dormammu action, or Mephisto or Blackheart related.
I think
or Ghost Rider.
Yeah, eventually the whole thing with the Ghost is going to come to a head. This one, that it seems like we're going to get more of like the Watchdogs develop into a Hydra type organization, maybe not completely Hydra because they want nothing to do. They just want to eliminate superpowered people.
Right.
I'm hoping with that happening, we may get like a lower level Avenger have to come in, you know.
Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
Jamie Alexander's kind of off the table right now.
We may end up getting AIM.
Yeah, that's true.
They might be the guys backing him.
Yeah, that could be possible. I'm hoping we get maybe, I don't know who would accept a TV budget. Maybe Sam Jackson will make an appearance. Maybe Jeremy Renner, you know, have Hawkeye jump in there. Maybe get Mockingbird and forget the other guy's name, Bobby and the people who left last season. Maybe have them come back for an episode or just something, because they were supposed to get their own spinoff and they did.
Yeah.
But I think we're definitely, somebody might have to step in. Probably a lower level Avenger that's not affected by the Accord. Like we may, you know, Falcon, just maybe have somebody have to come in and help out.
Maybe. You know what would be really good, seeing as how Steve Rogers and everybody's still on the run? Have somebody get slotted in to be Captain America now.
That's true.
Since S.H.I.E.L.D has officially gone public, they might be looking at him going, hey, you guys kind of made Captain America last time. You guys want to maybe get us a new one since the last one kind of flipped his shit and left?
That's also where you could fill in Jeffrey Mace. He was Captain America at one point.
This is true.
So, I mean, they could make him the new public figure of Captain America.
Yeah. There it is. I think we've cracked it.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to do it for theories and this episode. So,
if you have any theories or crackpot ideas, be sure and leave them down in the comments section.
Yeah, definitely let us know. We would love to interact with you guys. Just, you know, tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like to see more of us talk about. If you'd like us to focus on a certain thing, let us know. And please like and subscribe. I'm Jared from Ninja Mafia Entertainment and
Sean from Byron Barrow. Also, if you click over on my channel, we did a Let's Play in the Batman Telltale series.
Yep, and I will put a link for that in the description down below.
Episode 2 should be coming up real soon. Maybe if we get enough subscribers and people comment on it, we might do that crowd decision on episode 3.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week for episode 4.
Laters.
Later.